Oh.
And then we see Lina, which is a response to DP. Long range, you want to outrange her and do high physical damage. Fits
Also
well.
godlike on her.
Yeah, fits with your, Weaver, minus armor there. Venge.
Minus armor.
I actually like Venge a lot. This is an old strategy versus DP, where you just swap her into your team. You just blow her up. You don't let her play the game she wants while playing like max range and just like walking in, but swap her in the middle of the team and just blow her up, and it's a really good response to DP.
The PL coming out, you guys talked about it and how little you didn't really like it.
Okay.
It's always in
no one's been
everyone's
picking
mind
it.
versus Beast. It's always in your mind versus Beast.
Asta also does just play it. They picked it before in one of the series. They picked it with Wyvern though, which I really liked. The way it played out was that they would just fight and like the Wyvern would just be able to like cover the carry always in fights with ult. And I guess Earthshaker in a way does that this game. If your PL's in danger, I mean you just have a long range stun man to help you out.
I'm curious though, because you guys said that there's an issue of your Earthshaker getting a blink, losing map to Beast. Does that not also play into PL potentially losing map space and not getting enough farm?
That usually can mess up the Beastmaster with this hero, right?
So this PL just gets a free lane, most likely. I don't even know if that's true because some Beastmasters do go for an early axe build.
Yep.
And they can actually pressure him. But the theory is that he is going to win his lane, and then after that, what Neon needs is they have enough greed now. They read a really selfless like core now because PL is going to take all the farm on the map. They need to pick a mid, like just a spirit would be good if there's any left. There's a void spirit, that'd be good. They need to pick something that does not take farm from the mid lane now. Or they put the DP mid and they pick an offlaner who doesn't need much farm either. Tanking band, Mars band, SMG is kind of reading that too. Because when you play PL, you're all in. That hero needs your farm. So they need to pick a really selfless core next.
Talking about spirits, Storm Spirit's still in. Do you like that over the Void, or would you prefer the Void more for Neon?
Picking Storm Spirit is very greedy, but like it can work kind of way. Like it's you have to play Storm Spirit not as like that Storm Spirit that gets really farmed and zips across the map and is beyond godlike. You're just like a glorified stun on the hero.
Okay.
I only really love the storms when they have Io and Coddle, because then they just run around together with like endless amount of fighting all the time. Otherwise, it feels like they're farming a bit more. Also, I want to see whatever physical damage or like whatever carry right now is about to get the best game of his life, man. He can get like mad stacks in this triangle from Venge. You get all this minus armor. There is something extremely scary that is about to come out from SMG.
I think.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
But then they put DP in the off lane, no? And
I mean, at this point, like the problem is their lineup sucks versus PL. Oh, they're just not gonna pick a carry. That works too. It's gonna be less carry.
That's so weirdly anti-synergy. Well, I guess it's more synergy because they can just take so many objectives.
I like this because like if you think about it, the PL, it doesn't really get out carried for the most part. Like if you look at most of the matchups, like he only wins most carry versus carry matchups. You have like, I guess Sven, which is kind of a mediocre hero right now, and you would be playing against the DP as well. So they decided we're going to get our PL counter, which we did not have before. All four of their heroes suck versus PL, and they picked their Leshrac to counter the PL, and it's honestly good enough, and it should be fine in lane versus the Death Prophet too.
SMG do this a lot. Like mid one plays pseudo carries, like the Queen of Pain he plays in safe lane a lot as well.
I mean, he was a mid player.
Yeah, he plays. I mean, yeah.
The other aspect of SMG's lineup is the timing and the tempo of this. This is a really fast-paced sort of lineup, is it not?
For sure.
I'm scared for Neon right now.
They're trying to end this well before PL can even get online.
Yeah, and there's our selfless core that they needed to make space.
All right, the puck. Lyrical GoDz are going to be joining us, and I'm going to ask if they like Neon's final pick with the puck. Hi, Lyrical.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. I like it. I like SMG's draft a lot more. They just look like they want to run at them, go take down buildings, and I feel like Neon they're gonna be struggling to deal with this. So much damage. It's scary.
And yourself, GoDz?
Yeah, I think Puck's okay. It's kind of, you never feel great when you get to this last pick and there's no hero where it's like, you know, that gotcha pick or that thing that really rounds out your draft. It felt like the PL was the hero they wanted to build around, but I don't know if they're going to have enough time to get this PL online with how fast some towers could drop this game.
Yeah, SMG are definitely going all in, that aggressive style we know and love from them. The prediction I'm going to get from you guys this time isn't going to be who's going to be taking the game. It's going to be who's taking the first Roche. Team.
SMG.
SMG.
All right. Well, we'll head out. I'll leave the same question to yourself, GoDz, and Lyrical.
Well, thank you so much, Nat. It might be the first and only Roche if SMG have their way, based upon the pace that I think they want to play this one. But there's some cool things, Jing gonna be playing on the Earthshake. We haven't seen this guy in a while. Gets a blink dagger, maybe he just echoes everybody and they win the game. That could be cool.
Yeah, I think Neon have, they've got some synergy. They've got a couple of heroes that are a bit slow paced. The Shaker takes a while to come online, much like the PL, so their timings will mesh. Lyrical. By the way, I love the new setup you've got going.
Oh,
You're looking great there. The pink is popping. Great new room.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I was waiting. I was hoping. But the big thing is that it matches the Neon team, right? That's not why I did it.
You've embraced the Neon.
Exactly.
Well, maybe game one, you're gonna have to maybe look more towards game two. But no, their draft does have good things going for them. I think the Shakers is hero that if you can get this good blink timing, we've seen after we make this hero still look legit. But kind of like Fear said, it's like you need a real Shaker specialist to make it look good. So we'll see if that can be Jing. Jing's a guy that we just don't know a whole lot about because he's new to the competitive scene. He hasn't been around a long time. It's really early Abeng on this team. He's got a lot of experience. So curious to see how he performs.
Absolutely. Well, let's get ready to hop into this game number 1 of this series. And again, this is a couple of teams here that are trying to make a name for themselves. There's a lot of spots to the major out of Southeast Asia, but also a lot of really good teams. So each one of these matches matters oh so much because not only might you not go to the major, but you also just might end up in Division 2. And that's definitely a possibility. So see how things start out here is already heading out across the map. Abeng trying to get down one of those wards, it looks like.
Yeah, I think SMG, even from level 1, want to play aggressive. You've got the chain stun potential with the Venge and the Lesh. They're ready to fight. They've got Boars up. I don't know. This is going to be tough. I think it would be Neon just looking to stun and run if they find themselves in any kind of early skirmishes here. Jing in trouble here, potentially.
Ooh, buddy, what you doing, man? The wrap is there.
Is someone going to walk into them? Oh, no.
Oh, no. He's in trouble.
Oh,
the stun is there. The follow-up. And first blood going to Potato.
Nice start for him. Beastmaster's definitely this hero that can have this kind of slow build-up in lane till he gets the helm. So first blood gold will help him out nicely. And they get the D-ward mid. Dream start for SMG.
Yeah, and this is a team that can definitely take advantage of it because like we're talking about, you sort of mentioned this when we were talking while the draft was going on, that it's all this minus armor and then into a Lesh rack. So it's like, well, what's really even the point? But the reality is that this SMG team, that minus armor is going to make these towers drop so quickly if they can get off to a really hot start. And it's going to be a battle, it feels like, of OB Neon just trying to hold off this like constant pressure that's going to be coming at them after the laning stage. So we'll see what Neon can do to deal with that.
Yeah, I think a bit of anti-synergy is okay because at the same time we talk about drafts, like you want to have mixed damage often. And I think the second they saw the PL, they kind of had to respond to it. If anything, I feel like Neon picked this PL because they saw the minus armor. Like, okay, they're going physical damage core. PL could be good, the illusions. And for SMG, I think it was smart to pivot off of that. Make sure they got the good carry matchup. Not just, I think that obviously Leshrak is a counter to the PL, but also just in terms of playstyle and pace of game, it's going to cause PL and other heroes like Shaker Death Prophet problems because these heroes may not be ready to defend towers when SMG want to push.
And look at this up top, absolute classic. Mid one's underneath the tower, but if you look behind the offlane tower as well that's going on over there, Jing and Ninja Boogie, they actually might end up losing the courier as the lanes are being pulled all the way around. It's down here, Jing trying to get some of the CS behind the tower, pulled the whole creep wave around, and Ninja Boogie messing with them.
Classic. Onryu's got another wave, so there's like multiple different weird pulls happening. I remember, Icefrogs tried to address these pulls and wave cutting multiple times, and at some point I think he's just like, screw it, I give up, Exactly. Players, offlaners and forward positions will figure out a way to circumvent whatever rules Icefrog imposes on pulls, and there you go.
And the way that this is setting up, the lanes meet right in front of the tower too, so this is kind of perfect for OB Neon and showing the power of one of those early pulls can have on the laning stage. And, well, in the other lanes, so far, Lina doing a good job as well.
Good job, great job. Avatar mode, 4 CS. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yikes. Moon is an amazing mid laner, and he's really showcasing it here. I mean, this is, I'd say, a pretty good matchup for the Lina, especially if you know, he baits out a phase shift that hits him with the Dragon Slave. So Moon's just mechanically playing this lane very, very well and really putting this puck on the back foot.
Yeah, this is everything that you could want in the early goings here. And obviously, like, the level disparity is going to make a pretty big difference. He actually tanks a couple of tower shots, and he can't even afford to go for the phase shift because might get stunned coming out of it.
Yeah, I think he was trying to, like, pull the wave around the side because he's just losing the lane, so he didn't want the waves to meet, but didn't quite succeed, and unfortunately, this lane is just not really picking up. I mean, he'll get some levels, and then he can farm a bit better with more points in the orb and waning rift. Like, he shouldn't be getting denied as much. You can always secure those range creeps, but he's never going to have mana to really fight with if he's using his orb and nukes to just constantly farm.
Well, and it's interesting too, right? Because when both of those like small camps get blocked out mid, it's just another stun there on a Ninja Boogie. And gonna take some of those right clicks yet again. It goes back to like the old school lane, right? And the, you know, Avatar Mode, one of these newer players that's been sort of making a name for himself recently, now being thrown back to the old school wolves of 1v1 mid and all the horrors that come with it.
Yeah, I think when you're, you know, there's a lot of pressure on you some of these games. He looked decent earlier this week, you know, he was going mid against Yopaj there, and he had some okay games, but this time around, just, you know, it's game one, maybe still waking up, and, you know, plenty of time to still recover. But not the start he was hoping for, and he's...
Big rotation?
Yeah,
Moon?
getting some help.
Nah, can't get it. There wasn't a fissure block off there.
But unfortunately for Puck, doesn't get the bottle refill. I think SMG looking to, like, really, like, they know they've got this advantage mid, and Afu's, like, on the same page as Moon, like, okay, let's make sure this lane stays bad for him. Let's get both of these runes. Make sure that Avatar Mode has to kind of conserve his mana a bit and really put more pressure on him.
Well, and the danger that I'm seeing across all of the lanes is that it really feels like it's only going pretty well for this PL, and to be honest, Raging Potato is still beating him out here. Like, if you come out of this lane sort of even, that's already going to be a lot of pressure coming. But now Neon are, like, coming in pretty far behind, and I don't see who makes space in this map. This could be a rough one for them if they're not careful.
Yeah. PL in some trouble, getting a bit low here, but should be able to sustain through this. Needs some regen, which they don't have for now. Coming out on the Courier's a salve, though. But yeah, the Space Courier is, you know, it's the Puck. When you look around, typically it's going to be the mid laner, but you need a hero usually to fight around. It looks like that's going to be the Death Prophet. I think their idea of creating space is going to be to, like, pressure some towers. The problem maybe becomes that SMG is so early game centric that they've got enough damage to kill Death Prophet quickly through Exorcism.
All it takes is just a couple of oversteps and things go south pretty quickly. Up top, the battle coming in. Ninja Boogie trying to survive. Will eventually get pummeled to death. But Henry also making some damage. Not quite enough. Can they turn this around completely? Yes! They take down mid one. Obi Neon up top. That is what they needed.
Dude, Gloves of Haste Death Prophet. What a build. That 20 attacks. It's actually own it. It's like, it's way better than buying boots or something. There's a bit of a dive going bottom Afu behind the tower, but it looks like he's going to be okay and just, you know, he's going to tuck himself in. TP out, actually.
Nice.
TPing for the 6-minute rune fight. They really want to deny Puck any of these runes.
Uses his orb, and immediately they go. He is kind of left out on an island here. Stun comes out, a couple more punches. Where's the follow-up? He's able to jaunt up to the high ground, and Moon can't quite get in range to follow this, it looks like.
Yeah, without the Lina there, I don't think they were going to get that kill. And, you know, Lina, of course, they had the two supports top rune, Lina bottom rune, so, you know, Lina's just not going to be able to get there instantly. They make it a Bane instead, though.
Nice trade-off afterwards.
Yeah.
And, ooh, he raised the hand.
Okay.
But couldn't quite finish it off.
Jinx Fissures have been on point. That Fissure top especially was really nice where it locked in the Venge, and then they kill mid one because mid one, I think, got a bit overconfident. But another Fissure where he's just, you know, helping his team out, bailing them out, and we're seeing a couple of kills. Obi Neon are bouncing back after a slightly rough start to these lanes.
Absolutely. And these rotations that we might see soon with a Dream Coil available. Avatar Mode going in right now onto Ninja Boogie, trying to find the kill onto him. The Fissure is there. Easy cleanup for Obi Neon, and now looking for more.
Yeah, he's got Coil. He's gonna use defensively.
Yeah, needs to get another, but the rest of the team shows up, and now they're gonna come in for the cleanup. But oh, look at the buddy drops away. He's actually gonna get out.
And
oh, Avatar Mode, what a sick play. And now the turn on and Moon. This is enormous for Neon, the double kill. All right, there's your Space Creator.
Yeah. That one's definitely deserving of a Sheepo Neon gang. These guys are just playing so well around each other. Like, the puck kind of aggressively moves in. Initially, he's like, oh crap, have I overstepped? But his team were already on the way to like kind of bail him out, but also like they just realized the puck had actually caught mid one there. So even though, you know, Puck was in a bit of a precarious position, he got the coil out, and with Lena's TP, and they get an extra kill. That's the mid and the enemy carry. SMG's draft is so like early mid-game centric that getting these kills and slowing down the tempo is so important. The trade-off is this bottom lane. Raging Potato has absolute free reign. Took an early tier 1 tower. Helm is up super fast. We're going to see, you know, the Dominator probably really fast with the Ancient creeps, but, you know, you've got a mid to late game draft. You take what trades you can get.
Absolutely, and you can see that this is Neon maybe a little bit of adjustment. They said in that opening video that they wanted to really focus on shutting down Raging Potato. It feels like this is a measured response. They say, okay, we're going to let you get this start. We're going to try and build up elsewhere, and we'll see if there is a sort of eventual move to try and shut down Raging Potato, but it feels like their sights are set on this mid lane next, and you got to imagine OB Neon want to protect this if they can.
Yeah, I think at some point you just send like a Shaker down bottom to get form his Blink Dagger and try to defend the tower against Beast, but Raging Potato's getting active now.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of good vision with these summons.
A great ward that was up here that spotted all of this move over. They don't see the other ward, and now Abeng going to be found. Needed to trade off that Nightmare with the Beasts. And it's hard mode. Thinking about chasing, this might tip SMG off the idea that there's a ward in the area. We'll see.
Oh, Abeng's poked his nose out too far. He had the ward, but he came back. Vision may bail him out.
Roar afterwards. The creeps are just going to come on in to try and clean it up, and it looks like they'll get the kill. Not bad, not bad.
Nice punish from Raging Potato, not letting anyone come out to kind of contest. And yeah, they got the D ward, so suddenly I think, you know, OB Neon, they didn't want to go on the Beastmaster there because he's just a little bit too tanky, bit of a bait. They too hard commit on anything like that. Like, this puck is very easily killable, and we're seeing here SMG's pushing power coming into play, just getting that, right-clicking that mid-tier 1 tower down to below half health.
They couldn't quite finish it off, though. Raging Potato needs to go and find himself another creep, gets the Centaur again. It's going to go back to the races. Ninja Boogie is heading off that direction as well. But you can see, finding over here, Asta, they spot him to the side. Actually, the Centaur gets hit by the Ogre Smash there. But back to farming for the PL. And that's going to be his job. Just hide away until they finally need to bring him in online.
Yes. PL getting involved in any fight is mostly last resort. Maybe with Diffusal, he'll try show up, but he doesn't want to be like the one they fight around. He wants to be the guy showing up to the fight last still. But all these moves from OB Neon, they're the ones taking towers now.
The last little bit here of exorcism. This is huge.
Yeah.
Moon walks right in, gets the kill.
They're not done.
Oh, no. And now Ninja Boogie in some trouble as well. Min wants over to the side. Got to back out. Good fissure to finish off the kill onto the vent. Now Raging Potato also run down. Everybody from SMG has come in, and 3 of them died. They get the courier to boot. Why not?
Dude, this Death Prophet is just owning 5-1 and 2. The exorcism usage has been perfect. The fighting up top with the treads. He's got double crown now. He's just got all these extra stats. Like, is he even turning these crowns? Okay, yeah, he has gone full ATOS. He's got a full ATOS at 11 minutes in with treads. Top net worth, Death Prophet. Omryu is just beast moding this game. And the whole Neon team, it's very much like a team effort, the way they're team fighting around each other. But like him individually with Jing, these two have just been fantastic.
You know, I've been watching a lot of the pub games going on recently, and Death Prophet is absolutely everywhere. And we're seeing why this hero is just so unbelievably good. The stats that you get, like how tanky she is. Currently, like the second highest or third highest win rate amongst like players or heroes that are not Primal Beast, because that hero's just broken and you know nobody cares about him. But this ATOS build is really sick too. I really like what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, you get it this early, and it just gives you that little bit of extra catch and punish. Figures like Weaver can set up, make sure you can land a nice silence follow-up. So, and the stats are just super nice. Like, you want to tank up as an offlaner, getting these kind of semi-utility items that also give you, you know, all the stats benefit Death Prophet. Like the intelligence with the treads, like you're actually right-clicking pretty hard. It just gives you a lot of nice little things for the early game.
Now, 117 base damage right now on this hero. Kind of wild.
She's hitting pretty hard. And like that was the laning stage. Those gloves of haste made a huge difference in the laning stage. It's like one of those small things, but like buying boots is usually not a good idea for your lane if you're a core, because it, it just doesn't help you. They give nothing. Movement speed isn't stats. It's not health. It's not damage. And yeah, they've transitioned well, whereas SMG, like, their draft, this is one of the ways you kind of fight into these, like, push strats, is you push them first. Like, these strats don't usually defend towers well. Like, Leshrakt's not the best tower defender. Beastmaster's not either. Like, they don't have this tanky frontline hero to, like, run in and defend against an Exorcism. Like, it makes it really hard for SMB to play their draft when you're putting them on the back foot.
They're waiting up here, though. Nasta revealed the stun onto the illusion. They thought it was the real one, but it wasn't. They get the roar afterwards, but where's the follow-up? There's nothing. And in fact,
they're smoking up here. They want to fight. Yeah.
You got to get the heck out of here. Oh,
here comes Pop.
Abeng spots one. They're looking for Raging Potato, able to get him gripping Ninja Boogie on the side. And with everybody showing up, that is just a slaughter. Unreal.
Only the 2 kills there. I mean, they would have loved more. Mid one's doing some sneaky shenanigans mid, so SMG, it's kind of a statement to how well Neon are playing, where this game's at. That SMG just have to kind of split push. They're giving up kills to take towers elsewhere on the map. They're trying to just outmaneuver OB Neon at this point, like making these moves to these side lanes, like saying, okay, you go top, then we go bottom and mid.
Well, and you can see that they're kind of committed to that going on for a while now as well. We've got the Boots of Travel that are coming out here in a second for mid one. It's an Illusion Rune bottle that Moon gets, has the Boots of Travel as well, and then into the BKBs afterwards. So all about slowing down the game kind of and making sure that Neon can't take advantage of it. It's a little bit different than we were expecting.
The issue is, like, you slow down the game, there's still a PL in the game. Like, I don't think there's this late game power spike they're necessarily going to reach. Like, PL's even gone for the casual hood, which I always like when you're up against, like, this Leshract. In all stages of the game, it just feels really nice to have that added magic resistance against the just AoE magic damage. Just, you know, going to be really nice. And when you hit, I feel like when PL hits his hard timing, the game may just be all over for SMG. So at some point in the next, 5 to 10 minutes, they need to make something happen.
Right. I mean, that's the thing, right? Everybody thinks about late game Leshract, right? With you got your Bloodstone and your Shivas and all of these crazy items, and Lena's going to be able to do a ton of mixed damage, but the reality is the game tends to end before that point comes, and that's kind of what we've been anticipating from Neon here, is they'll just group up around that heart or whatever big item it is that PL gets and just take complete control over the game. I'm not sure exactly what the solution is for them then either. If you're SMG right now, like, do you think that they need to just play pickoff Dota?
So yeah, they've got they're either going to play like pickoff or like at least bottom lane. Then mid one's going for solo kills. I don't know about this. Yeah, he's the one getting killed.
Well, Ask is taking a lot of damage, but he is nowhere near help. And oh no, oh no, not like this. The tips.
You gotta rub it in. You're like, we're outplaying the hell out of you guys. We're gonna throw some tips out. That's just a bit of a ballsy call. Like, there's a Shaker, obviously trying to farm up his blink, and yeah, Leshract can solo kill him, but you're at an enemy tier 2 tower. So if you're alone there mid one, of course they'll rotate in. But what this did set up is a potential Roshan sneak. So all this minus armor, they've got the other 4 heroes in the pit while Lesh is dead, and this, I believe, has gone undetected. There's a Radiant Ward to the west, but it doesn't scout the Roche entrance, so it seems like this will pay off for SMG.
Yeah, that is really important for them. What a big window to get this right now, and well, that is going to set up for maybe SMG to try and retake some control here, but the swap in immediately gets caught, stunned, killed. That is the power of the Hawk.
Yep. Got the orb out. I think, unfortunately, his phase shift was on cooldown after the orb, so the roar did manage to connect.
Atos, Abeng dies over to the side as well, but Ninja Boogie going to be the one left behind. Raging Potato looking to back out now. Doesn't want to get caught either. Yep. So, a couple quick kills on supports and the mid.
I think the scary thing is, I think that PL is very ready to start joining these fights, and that's a hero. Like, Lena doesn't have good answers to this PL. Like, you need your Leshract to be tanky and survivable to have any chance of beating this PL, and mid one's just, he's up there in net worth, but he's still a few items away. Like, Sanjay Kaya will eventually probably need a BKB as well because of the Shaker, because this Shaker blink timing is already there. 16 minutes in, you're thrilled with that one if you're Jing and Neon Esports.
Yeah, He is right ready to go, but they do spot it underneath that Hawk, and this is probably gonna, they'll be able to scout out that they're heading over for a smoke play here as well, if that is indeed what they're doing, but it looks like it's not. Puck also going for this Blink Dagger, and then afterwards into a Lincoln Sphere. So it feels like the call is just like tank up and then give these items that are gonna allow PL to do what he needs to do. As Jing couldn't quite go in for the Afu catch there. And yeah, also gonna go for the D ward on the Sentry. He's trying to get towards a Orchid on Afu.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, not your everyday Weaver. We've seen Weaver builds all over the place. There's been a lot of Atos resurgence. You know, sometimes it's just like the Urn, the Vessel type items. The Orchid is definitely a bit out of the box. But it does feel like these support Weavers are trying to figure out what's the best, like, greedy item to go for now that the Ags has been so heavily nerfed.
Yeah, I think the Orchid seems like a really cool answer for Puck before this Lincoln. Because up top, we're seeing the Exorcism used, and this is actually going to be a tier 2 tower dead. And looking for a counter trade down bottom.
They may defend this, though. They've got Blink Shaker. The Hulk is positioned pretty well over the trees, but the smoke in.
Jing looking for his way out. Fissure is there. The follow-up silence. And Jaboogie goes for the stun, the turnaround, but they didn't get the roar afterwards. And the echo comes right as he was going for the roar. Swap out, keeping Moon alive, but the rest of the team is heartened. And they are all dropping down. Mid one wants to get away, but there is nowhere left to go. Wait, maybe? A chance to get at least one kill out of this? Oh, Aku wanted to play cleanup, but only the bane's gone down. Now the turn, Asta off to the side, needs to get away. Afu still on the chase down, gets the bug on him, wants to get away, and now Doppelganger Bug's still there. Moon hunting, trying to chase, looking for a couple more punches, and Asta is not going to get clipped by the Dragon Slave. So in the end, it's 4 for 1.
Yeah. They're able to re-engage. They're just poking in and out. And the problem, I mean, it's just so tough for these fights. Like, Moon's the guy with the Aegis, which maybe in hindsight they should give him to Leshrac, but, like, he's playing the outskirts of the fight because he's a laner. He doesn't want to be in the middle of things or he's melting to a PL. Like, I think Moon positions and plays that fight perfectly, but he can't really finish any of these heroes off because they're just kind of kiting him around. And the front liners for SMG are just, you know, they're struggling to stay alive. There's too much damage. This PL's already online. The Shaker Echo was absolutely perfect, and things are only going to get worse. Once this PL finishes his next big item, it looks like the Heart of Taras is queued up with a Manta or something. This game starts to get really tough, not to mention items like the BKB on Death Prophet going to make Onryu feel pretty unkillable as well.
Yeah, Onryu's just been such a monster in this game, and he's been everywhere that they need him to. 14 of the 16 kills that they've been a part of. They will finally go down here bottom on SMG and claim the tower, and you can tell that there's this pressure to, like, make things happen with this Aegis. 50 seconds left, and then the supremacy that we've been seeing from Neon is probably going to come back again after that. They've been winning fights into Aegis.
Exactly. Like, the Aegis hasn't swung this game. It just gave them a little bit of a buffer to, like, it almost like felt like they were just brute forcing this tier 2 tower bottom. They're going to, like, you know, poke at the high ground here. I think this is more about trying to force people to TP back. Unless they can get a really good initiation. Ninja Boogie's looking for a swap, but just level 1 swap doesn't have the best cast range.
But nobody's back home right now.
Yeah, you got to defend this. Neon Esports, wakey wakey.
They are not here, although they have found one. Hit one, the swap is there if they need to get him out, but he's going to be able to hold on to it for the moment. Coil afterwards, swap on the other side, gets out the Weaver of all heroes, and Onryu, he's going to be perfectly okay with this. They get the grip on the high ground on Moon. Doesn't get a chance to do anything, but the Ace is 1 second away, and they blow through it right at the end. Oh, Moon now backing out of there. They weren't quite able to get the kill onto him, and so Moon gets away. Buyback now from the bench. Afu trying to get away from them. He does have the Orchid. Could throw it around. There's no Lincolns yet on the puck. No Danger is there. Now the catch on the side. Oh, but the Nightmare. The save came. Laguna Blade trying to kill him off. Do they have enough? The other fight going on. They've got control over the puck. And, well, they run in with Asta trying to take down mid one, and they get him. He walks away at the last second. Oh, and they're not going to be able to get the finish. Unreal. Dude, the save coming out from Abeng there was so clutch.
Solid stuff. That's really good to see. The way Neon are playing these fights is, like, honestly tier 1 stuff. The individual plays, the death prop on the front line is just tanking all these spells and kind of surviving through. It does end up dying, but like the initial, like, all the ultis being used, the swap plus the roar, he just tanks through it with a BKB and then Spirit siphons back up. So does feel like you can see SMG. They know they're under a lot of pressure. Like their best chance of winning this game and dealing with PL are right now. And as a result, you've got mid one, like, you know, he's going in hyper aggressively. That's his playstyle typically, but you know, it bites him in the ass there when he goes down and slightly overcommits. But he kind of has to make these plays because I think it only gets worse the longer this game goes. So I like that SMG are playing as aggressive as they are. It's just, you know, they're just getting slightly outplayed by Neon in every single fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's now 2 huge engagements where the difference between a one fight and a lost fight is probably if PL dies or not, and he gets away on like 100 HP or something. Shout out to that Wraith band. But you know, like it's one of those moments where if they're not careful, this game is going to continue to spiral out of control. Looking for the chase down. Swap is there into the Laguna Blade and death. And are they just going to run it down a lane again?
I mean, no Aegis. They might have to, though. I like this from SMG. One lane of Rex won't secure them this game, but they got to make a play while they can. Echo's back up in 5, though. They've got to be a little bit careful of this.
Smoke up right outside the base. Afu trying to break it, gets the smoke break. Jing is there. They don't have a way to break his blink dagger, though, so they have to be quick, and they do take towers exceptionally fast. Moon now caught.
He's out of mana.
Careful, silence, walking away. Dude, this game is wild. Now the
Moon's
BKB, the
committing.
turret, trying to bring it down, and he is going to get it.
He may die for it.
They don't have enough physical damage.
Do they chase here? No BKB on Lina. I think they're going to just have to let Moon die. Cut their losses,
Moon is
take
gonna
the
go
racks.
down. Everybody TP's out.
Ooh, Ninja Boogie, he gets out. Okay. Afu, he's on the run too. Fissure hits him, though.
Oh.
Okay, he's out.
Gonna build back
They're
out
hunting top. They're TPing the outpost. Mid one's being hunted.
Gotta
Can
get
he
him.
get the grip?
The range isn't quite there.
Okay.
And they are
too deep. Ooh, that's so smart from mid one. Whoever made the call that they were TPing that, maybe they saw them in vision TPing to that outpost because mid one was backing off very fast. So good communication from SMG, good awareness from mid one.
Afu almost got caught by Asta as well down bottom. They were hunting him. The Neon are hunting everywhere. What's crazy about this game, 20-7, it's less than 1,000 gold separating the two of them. But then you take a look at like sort of win percentage, it's actually relatively even, a slight favor into Neon. So I don't know, we'll see where they end up going from here, but this is
mid lane.
one of those games where it can fall off the rails quickly.
Good swap save.
Backs out.
And Ninja Boogie will survive too, so good save and doesn't actually die for it, so I mean, they got the Rax advantage. Like, this game just feels like we've had like 40 minutes of gameplay in 24 minutes. It's just been non-stop, constantly moves being made, not a single moment like, okay, we've got this hard carry, like, you know, in Radiant they have a PL, but there's not really been any passive points to this game because it does feel SMG on a timer. And this Rax advantage is nice, but it still feels like this game is very 50-50 with Neon, you know, controlling the late game, and they can deal with having lost one lane of Rax. The next Roshan is going to be key. If SMG can get that.
Down bottom.
Okay.
He tried to fake that the other creep was there, and now mid one bringing him down low, but Aubane comes in as well. Moon is there. We're turning into a fight in a lane where there's no objectives to take, but they kill off the Bane, and now trying to turn. It's still so hard to kill this
one
PL.
by one.
I mean, they are, but they're low on mana on mid one, and kind of needs to back out. They can't kill off the PL. And now the Exo. Oh, he runs in. And Ryu right on top of everybody. He wants to go for the kill. They buy back on the Shaker as well. Ninja Boogie trying to sacrifice his life to get the rest of his team out of there. So they're taking these fights on the bottom half of the map to keep Neon stuck down here and using Exorcism. It's kind of wild strategy.
I think that creates a really nice opening and actually is pretty damn good for SMG because, you know, buyback from Shaker and Exorcism on cooldown. I think that's the big one. Unfortunately, Roshan respawned pretty fast here. Exorcism's worn off though, so not the best Roche taking lineup. I don't think Neon can do this before at least Lesh will respawn. They can start it. It's going to take a while. Maybe the Venge is still dead, but it's going to be a very slow Roche.
Yeah, you imagine that with the pace that this game's been played, SMG might realize that this is going on. But we'll see. It is starting to fall down. Afu in the area. And he's going to throw out any bugs. Runs on in, checks it, says hello, hello.
Yeah.
And caught. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay.
Just throw your bugs, my friend.
I thought they were going to do that.
He's like, they won't have a sentry now? My sentries? I admire the confidence, you know?
Yeah, it's true. Well, and it looks like they're just going to give that one up then. Yeah. It's too hard to take the fight without Weaver.
Yeah, and not having... they didn't have Venge, but yeah, they were all respawned. Because Exorcism was down. I thought this would be like a little timing window for SMG to, you know, maybe take Roach themselves or make a play happen, but Exorcism's such a big part of what Neon Esports' team fight. As we see, when they Exorcism, you got to run the hell away and cut your losses. But now we look at PL with an Aegis in these fights. He's very unkillable with the heart, and now with the 2 lives, he can just run into all the damage and not care about getting hit by the AoE stuns, the nukes, and whatnot.
You know, Parker, I keep on getting the feeling that the way that SMG keep on coming down to this bottom lane, that like they're hoping they just like win a fight down there, then just like end the game or something. You know, like how much time is spent top for SMG? They've only been bottom, it feels like. Now heading up there, of course, but I don't know. I'm curious to see what their thought process is for how they want to play this. For Neon, it seems very clear. Keep getting PL farm. He's got the heart down, done. Going into the Manta next, so the Orchid won't be a problem. This game feels very, very comfy for him.
There's definitely no doubt that, you know, late game PL should carry this game, but there's a lot of moves that SMG can make to kind of outmaneuver, which is, I think, a big part of why they keep playing bot. They know this bot lane is somewhere where they have to keep defending. Top, nice swap out.
BKB out and into Boogie.
Yep.
Gonna give up his life for that one. So they TP away on the rest of them. Haven't seen the sheep stick be used yet, but Moon does have it.
Yep. Has a double damage room for the next fight too bottled up. That's a pretty nice one. With that Blink Dagger, he can really... This is something Death Prophet may not be ready for. Like, the right-click damage is from Alina at this stage. If you get up a lot of Fiery Soul stacks, it's going to be really nice in a team fight, and that DD will just shred through on the use Death Prophet.
Yeah, has the level 20 talent of the Fiery Soul per stack, so the extra percentage on it. So that is even more right-click you're seeing from Moon right now, if they manage to isolate him.
Bringing out the Casual Crystalist, Grove Bow, all the right-click lean items you could hope for. But I still think SMG need that, like, split-up fight. That's, like, to kind of go back to this bottom lane, it's like part of pushing this out is that somebody has to keep defending it. So the hope is that you split Neon Esports up and you find a fight where they're not ready with 5 heroes, so you can kind of get the jump on them and catch them by surprise.
Well, and you can see that in towards mid, they need to wait out this Aegis. There's certainly no way that they can kill the PL twice. So 2.5 minutes, but up top, they got the grip onto Afu. Yep. And will he be able to get a time lapse off? Doesn't look like it. Drop everything from Avatar mode and find the kill.
They committed Exorcism mid, so Neon Esports showing they want to push, and there we go, DD Lina.
Big
That's
jump, right click,
about.
and immediately dead. What an answer. And now
Just
Asta also,
through.
he's got to be careful, but the jump in the Echo is there. There's no save. Oh, the swap comes at the last second, but Moon, no BKB. Does he decide to turn and fight? And he will. And now Asta, he's getting ran out by everybody. What a flip as they take that kill. And Abang, I mean, you can't afford to run in on this. They still have the Orchid as well. Jump in, try to bring him down, and they will finally kill that PL. First time in the game, and it couldn't have been at a better moment.
That's the fight they were waiting for. And I don't even think it was because of any kind of split push or bottom lane shenanigans. OP Neon just got a little overconfident. They were pushing mid with like 2 heroes with, like, you know, Aegis PL and a BKB Exorcism Death Prop. They're like, oh, you know, we're fine. But DD Lina just deletes that Death Prop. I think even without the DD, she would melt pretty fast there. But the DD made quick work of her. And then they just go to the next target. PL, you can kill 2 lives of his if he's alone, and that's exactly what ends up happening.
Oh,
and without ultimates, without buybacks on Shaker.
Oh my god, they're running up the hill. I mean, you have buyback on PL, but do you really want to run into the middle of all this? They don't have that DD anymore, but things could turn south so quickly.
Yeah, I think that it's probably smartest just to give up a second lane of Rax. I think Neon can still go late game with PL here. They need to just not get caught out like that, but just very heads up play. Like SMG have been, hold that thought. 3-man foil just
go in for this fight. Oh, Shaker's coming in. Goes the fissure onto one. I'm not sure if that's enough. He just gets destroyed. The rest of the team was going for the Venge, and he just dies. Oh no.
Blinked into, to his own death. And SMG have just done such a good job of realizing that they need to kind of prioritize and just burst down this Death Prophet in these fights. Something they couldn't do earlier, but now that Moon's come online, here's Lina. ready to carry this game. We talked about maybe the anti-synergy with the Leshrac and all the minus armor, but what you do have is a mid laner who's gone all in on the right click. So Moon is reaping the benefits of all this minus armor plus the Beastmaster with his auras. So
the Vengeur with the sheep stick too is enormous. Like so much int built up that he's getting a ton from that.
Yep.
How much damage is that actually for him? Plus 85. That's not bad. It's like a plus 50 extra damage. Jeez. Well, 6,000 gold lead right now for SMG, despite being down 12 kills. It is those objectives and the auras. It is very strong. And where do you go now for Neon? I mean, let's see. They've got Scotty next coming up on PL.
I mean, these next PLI, like the next PLI, I mean, obviously it's nice for him. It's going to improve his game, but more than anything for Neon, where things need to go is just the execution and the fights. How they approach these fights needs to change. Like, they need to make sure they're there as 5. They can't just plop Death Prophet on the front lines and expect her to be this tank anymore. She's going to have a Linken's, which will stop the roar from happening and stop her from getting swapped in, but they really need the PL to be the one frontlining. Like, Death Prophet, I think, needs to play a lot more cautiously, utilize the fact this PL with this heart is just damn near unkillable. With a Nightmare save potentially behind, I think this PL, even if they throw every single spell and almost kill the PL, those kind of fights are going to go well because you set your other heroes up, like your Shaker to get a good Echo Slam, because they're going to have to like converge on the PL, your Puck to get a multi-hero Dream Coil. The issue is this Death Prophet getting burst is that she just dies instantly to Lina, and there's no opening for your other heroes to make any plays.
Right. I mean, going back for this Linken's is going to be nice. They already have the one, and then also an Aeon disc on Avatar mode. So trying to make the heroes that get gone on first, like, stay alive longer, and that creates the chaos that maybe, you know, Jing can step in then and really hit the big play that they need. Because you've got that single target save on Ninja Boogie, and now also the Weaver. Aghanim Scepter is done. Yeah,
often in games like this, you just, you know, your win condition is your Shaker blink echoing somebody before they BKB, or you fissure into blink echo, like, you know, whether it's Leshrac or Lina. Ideally, Lina. Lina needs to be the priority, but you can't do that when there's a bench swap. Or if you do it, you need to make sure you can chase after the swap. Like, that's, some heroes are good at chasing swaps, like your Pengos and Storms and stuff. PL's not bad. I think this is where the Skadi's going to help, because it allows Asta maybe to stay on top of the Lina a little bit better. Or perhaps you're asking your Puck, like, hey, if she gets swapped out, you need to chase her down.
Yeah. Again, Puck doesn't have, like, a tremendous amount of damage in this game. It's been, Avatar mode's been much more about, like, trying to stay alive and, you know, facilitate the damage that's going to be coming from this PL eventually.
Yep. I don't mind this build. I think because of Avatar mode, like, having this Linken's, I think your actually best use of it is your PL frontlining, giving him the Linken's just to protect him. I don't think, I mean, obviously it's nice when you, if you want to jump the backlines to have the Linken's, but your, you know, your bread and butter way to teamfight needs to be put your most durable hero on the front lines, buff him up, that's your PL, and make them waste spells and stuff on him, and then that's going to create openings because he's going to give you vision. He can send those illusions out, and naturally heroes are going to have to poke at him and throw spells. And so far we've just seen SMG seem to have the edge when it comes to vision and just the way these teamfights are executed.
Well, I had been really impressed with SMG's late game decision making, the way that they've handled themselves, particularly in that Polaris series. It just felt very strong, and we're seeing it here again. A couple of these late game calls, and, you know, keeping composure when things get wild. And I'm really impressed with what we're seeing. Neon, obviously, incredibly sick plays when they're playing together and everything is, like, looking the way that they want it to. We'll see if they can kind of go back to fighting all in formation here in a little bit.
Yep.
If, you know, where the next couple of minutes take us, because Roche 2 minutes away.
Yeah, that's Roche number 3. So looking at potential Aghanims, Refresher Shard. I guess the Refresher doesn't look that value for SMG. Aghanims, I'm sure they've got a couple nice ones they can bust out, but not sure Neon is going to give that one up for free. They've got the Skadi out now on the PL, so no buyback on the PL means a potential lost fight is just GG. Raging Potato. Ooh, he popped the smoke.
Yep.
Has the Hulk out now. He'll scout him out.
Oh, the DD, it's right there again. They find the Bane right at the start. Oh, and the stun onto Asta. He's going to doppelganger, try to get away, but he is completely surrounded by absolutely everybody. Can they Brug Hawk him down? If anything, the Echo afterwards is the damage, but it's not enough.
It's
the
too
PL
late.
is already dead. The echo came too late, and SMG take them all down.
Yeah, it's just over. They GG. Another double damage rune. Like, this entire game, SMG was losing fight after fight. They were down like 20 kills to like 5 or 6. 2 big team fights with double damage rune. And SMG, like, they got outplayed for 90% of this game, but the times when they outplayed Neon, they made it count. They converted it into like huge game-winning fights, into Roshans, and just incredible stuff considering their draft was not meant to go late game. Just really well played.
I can't believe that happened. I mean, again, like, there's so many of these moments where you sort of are saying, oh, well, it's close. You never know. They're keeping it really even. And it's like, but PL's going to come on late game. And then just in the end, it didn't feel like it mattered. Standout performers for you. Who really do you like? Was it decision making in game, like whoever the shot caller was, or were there individual heroes that you felt like from SMG that really made it work?
I mean, there's definitely a few, like, you know, plays in these fights that went, but it was above all else the shot calling, like the way they recognized the times where Neon were caught out, like that time of the tier 2 mid tower, there's 2 heroes defending, you know, Moon obviously with the DD Lena, the one kind of carrying the fights, but I don't think there's any individual player that stood out. If anything, the individual players that stood out were on the Neon side. It's kind of, you know, they're going to be a bit demoralized they lost this game, because I think some of their players really popped off, but then, you know, mid to late game decision making is where Dota is decided more often than not, and that's where I think Neon Esports were perhaps a bit let down. Like, they just got outplayed, and SMG really showing their experience and the fact that they're veterans to get a win like this.
Yeah, I got to imagine some of these players are like, what do I have to do to win this game at the end after the performances they had? But you know what? That's sometimes the way it goes. And SMG are going to win game number 1. It's not in the way that we thought it was going to happen, but they still come out with the victory in the end. For now, we're going to go to a quick break. When we get back, the panel's going to break down all the action. See you then.